Education, the platform that not only caters to the students of classes 11th and 12th, but also to those children who are aspiring to clear some competitive exam, or simply those who are trying to enhance their vocabulary, improve their speaking and writing skills, and trying to write or speak flawless English. And I'm Kakuli, as you know by now, your guide and mentor, who will make this journey of English of yours simple and interesting. And today, what are we doing? We are doing a poem by Walt Whitman, The Voice of the Rain. Okay, it's a beautiful poem, as Walt Whitman was a very famous American poet, and his poems, have a typical poetic flavor. What I mean by that, by poem we mean imagination, okay, some symbols used, and they have it over here, but don't get scared listening to that, oh my god, symbols and a deeper meaning. No, it's very, very simple. All of you will appreciate it very well as I do. So let's begin the poem. I'm sure all of you have heard the voice of rain. What do you mean by voice of rain? The sound of rain, pitter patter raindrops. I'm sure all of you have heard, and most of you, if not all of you, 98% of you, I'm sure, are fascinated by the smell of rain, by the sound of rain. Isn't it? We love, and as it is already raining when I am shooting the video, it is raining outside, so I love to teach the poem in this kind of ambience. Now, the poet here, however, gives a different, touch, a poetic touch, as I told you. He says that he spoke to the rain, and the rain answered him back as well. And what did the rain say? Let's hear from the poet. "And who art thou?" the poet asked. "Said I to the soft falling shower." See the beautiful way he has described the rain. The soft falling shower. It was a drizzling. It was not a heavy rainfall. So it was drizzling. And he asks the rain, "Who art thou? Who art thou?" Little old English over here. Who art thou means who are you. Art means are, and thou means you. So the poet asks the rain, "Who are you?" And which very surprisingly strange to tell, isn't it? Can you believe that the rain answered to the poet? But yes, it did. So that is what the poet is saying. Strange to tell, gave me an answer. The rain answered back also to the poet. As here translated, what did the rain say? Let's hear. "I am the poem of the earth." Such a beautiful explanation. The rain says, "I am the poem of the earth." Why the rain says this? We will come back to this. Said the voice of the rain, "Eternal I rise, impalpable, out of the land and the bottomless sea." Eternal, continuous, endless, constant. I rise. The rain told the poet that I rise from the earth, from the ocean constantly. Now I'm sure all of you have read and all of you remember the water cycle. Think of water cycle. The first, the beginning of water cycle, evaporation. Okay, so as water vapors, small little invisible water droplets, water rises in a form of vapor, evaporates from the earth, from the land, from the sea, and moves towards the heaven, towards the sky. That is exactly what the rain is telling over here. Eternal, constantly, every time, continuously. I rise, impalpable, very important word, very important for your question, children. Why is it impalpable? Because first of all, impalpable means what? Something that cannot be felt, something that cannot be touched. Intangible is another synonym we can use for impalpable. So why is it impalpable? Obviously, can you touch water vapors? Can you see water vapors? We cannot. Okay, so the poet says that, or the rain says that I rise impalpable out of the land and the bottomless sea. Then what happens? upward to heaven. Then says, I move towards the sky. Here, heaven means the sky. Where, when, vaguely formed, altogether changed, yet the same. Please underline, very beautiful expression over here by the poet, and very, very important from your exam point of view. Vaguely formed, vaguely formed. We know how the clouds are formed. How are the clouds formed? Are they very structured format, square, rectangle, oval? Obviously not. We all know how vaguely they form, and they keep on changing constantly. So that is why, not very clearly or perfectly formed. Now, important phrase is this: altogether changed and yet the same. Beautiful expression, figure of speech is there. Please underline, it is a paradox. I'm sure some of you had guessed by now. Altogether changed and yet the same. It's paradox. What is a paradox? When two opposite things are told, something that cannot happen, like over here. Altogether changed yet the same. The question comes in our mind ना कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? Change भी हो गया, same भी है, ऐसे what does it mean? But when we give a deeper thought, after a proper deep contemplation, we understand, हाँ ऐसा ही तो है. देखने में वो जो clouds है वो completely different है. Just now we saw that the water vapors were impalpable, intangible, we cannot touch. But look at the clouds, they are huge water mass. But here is the catch. But actually, if you see the composition, it is H2O, it is water, isn't it? Water vapors are also water, and clouds are also combination of water droplets only. So this means this only, that though they look different, they become huge clouds, but in composition, in the heart, they are the same. They are those minute water droplets only clubbed together. Okay, so this is a paradox. Remember this. Now let's move on to the next lines. Here, the rain talks of rainfall only. Okay, I descend to lave the droughts, atomies, dust layers of the globe. The rain says, then what do? I fall as rain. Descend means to fall. Where it falls? On the earth. Okay, and we all know before monsoon we have summer. So the earth, the fields are all dried up, they are parched. There are droughts also sometimes. So as the rain falls, it seems that the earth rejuvenates. Okay, it looks so beautiful, and the leaves and the trees are washed off the dirt that were lying on it, and they look fresh and glittering. And all that in them without me were seeds only, latent and unborn. What happens? Now this is again a very important question, children. Latent, unborn. What's latent? What happens? We have to explain. Under the surface of the earth, the seeds that were latent, that were hidden, they were unborn, means they had not germinated. As the rain falls on them, what happens? They germinate. We all know that during monsoon there is germination, there is blooming. So the earth, blooms to its full. There is greenery everywhere. And forever, by day and night, I give back life to my own origin. Very, very important line for question. Please underline. I give back life to my own origin. This is a paradox. What is a paradox? Paradox is a figure of speech when apparently means लगता है शुरू में it appears that there is some contradiction. जैसे कि यहाँ पे रेन क्या कह रहा है कि I give life to my own origin. तो शुरू में ऐसा लग सकता है कि ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है, जो मुझे जन्म देता है, जहां से मेरा जन्म हुआ है, उसी को मैं लाइफ दे रही हूँ, ऐसे कैसे पॉसिबल है? बट इट इज पॉसिबल. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट द रेन ट्राइज टू से. द रेन इज born from where? From the earth, in the form of vapors. It rises, it evaporates, isn't it? And now it is giving life as rain to the earth, because the dried earth rejuvenates, gets back a new lease of life. From where? As the rain falls. So that is what rain is trying to say, that I give life to my own origin. Okay, it's a beautiful line and very important for question. Now let's move on. and make pure and beautify it, and make it beautiful, that we all understand, as I just now explained, that as it rains, the nature, blooms in its full glory. There is greenery everywhere, and you also know that very well. Now, if you can see in your books, the last two lines are within bracket. Very important, this, children, for question, for your understanding also. Why is this in bracket? Because these two lines are not told by the rain. This is the conclusion drawn by the poet. So the last two lines are not voice of the rain, it is the voice of the poet, we can say. Now, what conclusion he draws from here, let's see. For song issuing from its birthplace after fulfillment and wandering, wrecked or unwrecked, duly with love returns. Now try to understand. This is a little difficult, but you will understand. The poet says over here, in the same manner, just as the rain originates from the earth in the form of vapors, then goes to the sky and forms clouds, and then again comes back to the earth as rain. Exactly in the same manner, poets also writes poems or songs. What happens to that? It comes out from its birthplace. Please underline birthplace over here. What is the meaning of the word birthplace over here? What does it indicate over here? Birthplace here is the mind, the heart of the poet. Song's birthplace or a poem's birthplace is what? The heart of the poet. So for the song, it can be a poem also, issuing, taking birth, coming out from its birthplace, which is the heart of the poet. After fulfillment, wandering. What happens after a poet writes a poem? It is published, everybody reads it. Okay, some might acknowledge it, some might appreciate it. किसी किसी को अच्छा लगता है, किसी किसी को नहीं लगता है. कोई positive criticism देते हैं, कोई negative देता है, जो भी हो. But the poet gets a feedback. These two words in the last line, wrecked or unwrecked, means what? Reckoned or unreckoned means appreciated or not appreciated, recognized or not even recognized, but it comes back to the poet with love, and it enriches the poet, just as when the rain falls on the earth is enriched. It is rejuvenated, isn't it? It gets a new lease of life and hope. So similarly, we can understand that the entire process of water cycle can be compared to the composition of poetry. Okay, the way the water cycle, it starts and the water vapors are formed and they evaporate, go to the sky or heaven, they form clouds and they come back to its origin in the form of rain and rejuvenates it. Similarly, the poems are created by the poet. They are read by the people of the world. Some recognize, some do not. But in any way, the feedback comes back to enrich the poet. So this is the reason I told you in the beginning that the rain said that I am the poem of the earth. Such beautifully it is told that I am the poem of the earth. Now here I will like to tell you two things, very important things. Now, one thing I would like to tell you now, I didn't say in the beginning because I didn't want to complicate it in the beginning only. As you can see now that in the entire poem, rain has been personified, isn't it? Personification, we know, personification is a figure of speech when a non-living object is treated as a living object, given some living qualities. So here, rain is speaking to the poet and it is therefore personification. This we have to remember. Okay, so with this we come to the end of the poem, but again I will quickly tell you the important questions that are very, very probable. Okay, now as we begin the chapter or the poem, we see the most important question, children, is I am the poem of the earth. Okay, why has the rain called itself the poem of the earth, where you have to give this exactly this explanation that I gave you just now, that just as a poem, you know, takes birth in the mind of the poet, it goes and everybody reads it, it comes back, it is appreciated, and then it is enriched, it enriches the mind of the poet. In the same manner, the journey of the rain also you have to explain. Okay, so this is the most important question. The next is in the fourth line, you can see that eternal. Why eternal it is? Because it is constant, continuous process. Impalpable, because we cannot touch water vapors, it is intangible. And then this paradox that I told you, altogether changed and yet the same. Very, very important question. Next, we come to this that the seeds, why are they latent? Why are they unborn? What happens to them when the shower falls on them? And next, again the paradox, I give back life to my own origin. That is again a paradox. You have to explain that as well, and make pure and beautify it. And the last two lines also very, very important as question, that how has the poet compared the rain to poetry, which is more or less same as the first question. I am the rain, I am the poem of the earth. Okay, so with this we come to the end of this beautiful poem. Okay, and I hope you have enjoyed the chapter, and those of you who have not yet subscribed my channel, please do so, because it motivates me a lot, and then only I will love to make such wonderful videos and keep on uploading them. So share it with your friends, subscribe my channel, and keep watching. Thank you. Have a nice time.